of New York State. Racing on the track here in the Midweek Series is Watkins-Glen. I'm Kevron 187 in the booth with host. As your host, my apologies, folks. I'm still trying to get words right. And with me in the booth is Mike Man. Mike Man, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Great to be here in the great state of New York. It's the best place on earth, Kevron. I'm pumped to watch some road racing tonight.
Oh, I'm telling you, somebody that lives up in New York yourself, tell me a little bit about how the weather's been up there, buddy.
Uh, it's been quite cold. We've gotten some snow here and there, but overall, a pretty tame winter up here. But it looks like, from what I can see, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day out there in the Finger Lakes at Watkins-Glen International. So it'll be a fun one for sure.
Absolutely. As we had concluded last week's race at Kentucky, we came to see our Hall of Famer S'mores pull off a major upset win, as some would call it. Just to hear the excitement of him describing his win at the racetrack, man, it kind of takes you back a little bit to how some of these guys here just, you know, truly love racing with the guys and the friends that they are with here, and then to pick up a win, it shows some honest feelings about what it really means to race, even if it is just a game.
Yeah, I mean, even when I still win races in this league, it still gives me that same excitement that the first one did. So, because you never know when your last one is. A guy like S'mores probably thought he might have had his last one. So, must have been a great feeling. It was almost euphoric for him there at Kentucky, pulling off his win, riding down pit road. So, very cool to see him get back in victory lane, and we'll see if he's got a chance tonight. I really don't see it. I look at the favorites kind of being between Bradley, Ryan, Mindkiller, and Spencer. This is a race with some heavy hitting Cup part timers in it. Bradley and Mindkiller are two of the best road racers statistically in league history, and then Ryan can always be a threat at a track like Watkins-Glen. So I'd look out for them. And Spencer, coming off a very dominant outing at Canadian Tire in our doubleheader on Sunday, picking up his second career Cup win. I'd also look out for him. Maybe he's got some momentum heading into this one.
For sure, Spencer really, I mean, both in dominating fashions for both conserving fuel and tires and just holding up the speed better than everybody else could. It's kind of unfathomable to see the likes of Spencer, just barely miss last year's midweek series. Championship Final Four, and to see him come into the Cup and win at Canadian Tire the way he did in dominant fashion, it's definitely a big statement for him. But you touched on Bradley and Mindkiller and Ryan Guy, the Cup part timers. Definitely those guys are something to watch out for. Bradley's very statistically great at road courses for sure. Mind Killer and Ryan Guy, they picked up a couple of road course wins over their course of their careers. Ryan Guy last year he won at Mid Ohio. That's right, he won on a field strategy deal at Mid Ohio. So
Yeah,
we'll see how he turns out tonight.
yeah, for sure. We'll see how he does. I wouldn't necessarily peg him as our top favorite. I'd give that edge to Bradley and Mindkiller, and then I'd put Spencer and Ryan right below them, third and fourth, and who I think my picks are to win. But if you wanted me to give you a pick right now, um, I got a little bit of a surprise pick. Bradley didn't quite show the speed we're used to him seeing at Canadian Tire.
All right. Michael Fox is going to be Mike Min's pick, y'all. So keep that in mind here as we get towards the end of this race. Um, you know, well, when it comes to surprises, regardless if it's a matter of them winning or just finishing very good, who else would you kind of want to pick out to be the surprise to perform here at Watkins Glen tonight? Absolutely. And another midweek regular that's racing tonight as well is, of course, Darth Kylo. He was a part of the Final Four championship contender last year. Came up short, but his consistency is really what makes him stand out more than anybody else in the midweek series. So obviously could all right. Obviously, he could definitely be a surprise pick as well to somebody that thinks that maybe he could pull off an upset. So for me personally, I see the likes of Bradley and Mindkiller, kind of like you, Mike, man, to outperform everybody else there on the track, and not to take anything away from Spencer, but when it comes to the likes of Watkins-Glen, it's a different animal when it comes to road course racing compared to the other road courses we go to. Um, Maybe Spencer is able to dice it up there speed wise, but I don't.
Yep, we got the green out here at Watkins now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, we're still loading up on my screen, Mike. Man, I apologize.
We
What do we
got
got?
PS5 energy cooking over here. Sounds like a radio broadcast
Just so you
right
know,
now.
I think this race is actually going to come down between these two right here.
54 in the 6, that's
Yes.
Spencer and Mindkiller.
Yes, just from what I saw in practice with them on long run, I think Spencer can put one together.
And they're making contact down this straightaway here.
Yes, we finally got our screen up on him. Yeah, 54 in the 6 going down as Spencer takes it very aggressively through the bus stop here, but is able to edge out the 6.
Yeah, Mindkiller using a lot of grass through there. That's definitely risky.
For the most part, everybody is coming out of the carousel single file.
Got a little side-by-side action towards the back. 1922 side-by-side heading into the final corner.
Yeah, they're trying to follow behind KLW in the 08 as they get single file coming out of the final corner here before the start-finish line as Spencer completes lap 1.
KLW goes a little wide through 1, and Kylo makes a neat little pass under him right there. He gets up to 5th.
Chew, and KLW, and you're going to see a lot of this too, Mike, man. A lot of guys, when they come out of the turn 1, get as close as they can to the edge of that wall so they can widen that turn as much as they could to keep the speed going up through the S's.
Yeah, there are some benefits and definitely some drawbacks from it. If you get up on that little runoff too early, you can definitely get yourself to spin out. But if you get on it too late, you could end up getting into the wall there. So it's definitely a fine line that you've got to try not to cross over there.
Yeah, and another line that we've seen too try to be utilized is Bradley in the 0 here. Make that really wide arc in the beginning of the carousel, and then diamond it off there coming off the carousel. Kind of a Marcos Ambrose kind of line.
Yeah, if there's any road race I could compare him to, Marcus Ambrose is one of them. Bradley just seems like in recent years he's been a savant in this style of racing. Didn't have what he was looking for on Sunday, and kind of looks off the page compared to this top 3 right now. But a guy like Bradley, not much experience in this Xfinity car, as you see him using up all the track there through 1. He'll figure it out. I think by the end of this race, we'll see him in contention for sure.
And meanwhile, we had a battle for the lead here. Apologize, folks. Here's Mindkiller. He just got past Spencer, but Spencer trying to attack him back here through the buses, or the bus stop. Now going through the carousel, Mindkiller holding off Spencer quite well now. So Spencer will fall back to second, Mindkiller up to the lead. And Ryan Guy, we just talked about him. He can have himself a little quiet night here as well in the 98, sitting there in third.
Yeah, I think he's got a car. This is kind of usually prototypical Ryan at Watkins-Glen. Kind of good enough to hang on, but I really don't think he has the speed to really, go out and put lap time on these guys on a consistent clip.
Yeah, just about everybody here so far single file. The top 4 really has broken away as Bradley swings it really wide coming off of turn 1.
Yeah, I think he's using way too much racetrack there.
Yeah, Bradley did not feel good. I don't think he got enough laps in before he wrecked. He just doesn't feel like he's faster than those two right now.
Well, with the laps winding down here, being a cup, a full ride in the cup and part-time midweek series, probably not too worried about stage points here. Just trying to get the rust shaken off here, and especially here at the likes of Watkins-Glen. Like I mentioned to Mike Ben here earlier, Tegan, it's a different animal when it comes to racing at road courses compared to the other road course tracks we go to.
So, like, Watkins-Glen, to me, is the easiest road course you can race on this game. It's a whole lot more forgiving when you're overdriving compared to, like, even Sonoma, which is, like, what I call the OG road course, along with Watkins-Glen. The rest of them, it's a fine line between being aggressive and not getting loose off the corners, just like Bradley, I think, just about did again. Yeah, Watkins-Glen, to me, it's an easy one. It fits more people's style of racing, like a Spencer and a Mind Killer. I think more than it does a Bradley. Also, we mentioned KLW earlier. He's very underappreciated on the road courses, but I do feel like this is one of his weakest road courses for some reason.
Yep.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because he's used to being aggressive, or not being aggressive, and not being aggressive enough here maybe is the cause. But I checked on him a while ago. He's a little behind compared to everybody else. Yeah, and we're banging for the lead, and that's going to bring a riot.
Yeah, Tegan, all through that time, Mike Man was reacting the same way I was in my head, just watching the 6 of the 54 bang off of each other. The 54 really giving the 6 a hard time.
Well, they were doing this in practice, by the way, behind me, so it don't surprise me.
Spencer, as we all know, is one of the most aggressive drivers across the entire board, not just midweek series, but even in the Cup too. So,
yeah, and I don't really necessarily think he's intentionally aggressive. I just think he kind of gets in over his head sometimes, and is prone to like Ross Chastain. I don't think he goes out there making real aggressive moves. He just makes mistakes trying to push too hard. And Spencer a lot of times puts himself in situations where he's hitting other guys.
And don't think.
Well,
unless somebody's yelling at him.
His model is Chaos Ross, as we all know. So, using those chrome horns.
Spencer?
Fencer Spencer, that's right.
Hashtag I got fenced.
Yeah, that's a throwback. Spencer closing in on him again here, though.
Yeah, he's really good getting into those hard braking corners here, but Mind Killer is able to keep a consistent pace here coming off the corners. Just enough to be able to stay in front of the likes of Spencer.
Yeah, and when you give a guy like Mind Killer a lead here, he's pretty hard to beat. I mean, while we haven't seen it in recent years like we used to, Mind Killer is a road course ace. Hard to beat when he's out front.
And for the lap count, we are on lap 7 so far. I did not catch.
We will see pit stops. 10 laps is
Spencer
about what you can
that
get.
in.
I'm telling you guys, Spencer's going to give the 6 one good bumper before we get to pit stops, like Tegan said. Do you know, Tegan, when the crossover to the stage is?
Stage is 14 to 15 if Bradley went off of the sheets.
Okay, 14 through 15.
Definitely going to have to see pit stops. I don't see nobody stretching it 4 laps. And I also don't see nobody being able to take fuel only. I think it's going to be 4 tires because, as everybody knows, we cannot take left sides here.
Yep, that left front is killer here.
Well, and you think about the guys like S'mores, Darth Kylo, and KLW that are in the very furthest back here. Maybe they could get away with just fuel only if they've conserved enough tires. However, how much time you have lost to the leaders like Mind Killer and stuff really is what makes the dividends. I don't see them pulling off just a fuel only strategy here coming to the stage.
If it's a move, it's not a move to win. It's a move to gain 1 or 2, 3 spots at the most.
I can agree there. Yeah. Now, as we...
sending it.
As I was about to say, we have our eyes on Spencer. He is
Seems like when
very
you're-
aggressive
when
in
you-
the bus
Seems
stop.
like when you're chasing somebody, you can always find a little bit of extra to drive in there. And the leaders on the opposite spectrum, they're trying to make sure that they're not going to overdrive it and give up time, and that usually ends up giving up the time anyway is underdriving it.
And you
Yeah,
know
'cause
how Spencer Drover drives a lot of corners here too, so you definitely are on edge when you're on defense with the likes of
Yes.
Spencer.
And you'd rather lose the lead by getting passed straight up than by making a mistake on your own. So,
Oh, we got Bradley coming into pit.
yep. First comer here.
Yeah. And, going back to the third place guy here, Ryan Guy, he's seeing all this action unfold in front of him. It's almost like, yeah, he's doing really good keeping up at speed, but also trying to be as conservative as he can, keep from wrecking that car. You would think, okay, well, if I'm going to take it this conservatively, when do I need to start pushing it?
I don't think he's taking it conservatively.
I don't think he is. I think he's pushing it because he was right there with them a couple of laps ago. Either he's had something happen while we wasn't watching, or Spencer and Michael is just being so aggressively fast up there in the front that they're just pulling away while actually racing each other.
Definitely could be the case right here. I'm going to go back
Maybe
here.
see some pit stops here with the leaders. I don't know.
Yeah, Bradley just came out of pit
Yep.
road now.
Six.
Mine Killer's pitting.
Both of them.
Yep, and here comes Ryan. So the top three are coming into pit road at this time, which, let's see here. Let's go back to the fourth place guy. That should be Darth Kylo. Yep, and here he comes. S'mores stays out.
Yeah, Mindkiller's not sure if he's sped or not. He said he's close. We're about to find out if he did.
KLW's actually got damage right now. I think he's already made his pit stop.
Looks like
And he still
Mindkiller's
has
got a
damage.
strategy call here. He's out way before the field.
Are we sure Spencer didn't get caught speeding?
No, I'm sure he took no tires. We're hearing no tires.
Okay. I hope he's live. Oh, we're going to see now if he can make it.
Yeah, because you can see Mind Killer going into the bus stop right here.
There is an advantage with the steering wheel.
And Spencer, I mean, he's halfway up through the S's, so that's a huge gap difference between Mind Killer and Spencer. But of course, S'mores still holds the lead for now, but we soon to see him come to pit road as he's now.
I really think this is a big mistake for Mind Killer.
So
'Cause
I'm
there's
looking
no
at his
reason
stream. It's
to
going to be
throw-
close.
No reason to have a chance to throw your race away here in the stage, especially when you're not running for points. I don't really get the decision to try to further your gap for stage points when you're not running for them. But then again, when it comes to Mind Killer, his biggest negative attribute is his brain.
Well, as you just made that point, he's back down to pit road, which automatically hands the lead back to Spencer. So
What did he
Spencer's
do?
laughing at him.
yeah, I'm like you all guys. What?
No. Something else is going on here because I don't think he had enough fuel. It wasn't the tires. He didn't take enough gas. I think his left side would have been fine. He actually didn't even take tires again. He didn't have the
a
fuel.
crucial clerical error from the 6 of Mind Killer.
There's a lot of people calling this guy an idiot right now in the race.
Oh my goodness. Oh, meanwhile, sorry, as Spencer, takes a huge lead in front of these guys here. We got the likes of Bradley, who caught up with Ron Guy. They're coming out of the carousel, battling each other. Bradley just passed Ron Guy for second.
Yep, as I said earlier, just give him time. He'll find it.
Yeah, Ron Guy in the high point 98 here really didn't give too much of a fight to hold off the likes of the 0 of Bradley. So, yes, we are approaching, the end of the stage here coming up. Looks like this is a pretty much set match. Spencer with the stage win, permitting he don't, do something crazy. Bradley second and Ron Guy in third.
Impressive though for Mind Killer to still be, I think, fifth after that big error, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm hoping that it will show, all the other guys.
Oh
I
my
think
god.
KLW 6th or 7th from that damage that Tegan had brought up earlier. And, Darth Kylo being in 6 as well. No, I'm sorry, S'mores. But, wow. When it comes down to the end of the stage, sometimes track position does matter here at the likes of Watkins-Glen. So that could be the deciding factor.
I think Mind Killer will recover.
I think Bradley's starting to find something here.
Did he get by Ron? He did.
Oh, yeah. He's by Ryan. He's pulling away big time.
Yeah, I was about to say earlier he got by Ryan. Ryan really didn't put much of a fight up to hold the likes of him off. Spencer's just now going into the S's as Bradley's coming off of turn 1. Earlier, Bradley was well further back than this, so he is definitely catching up to the likes of Spencer.
Yeah, I had that earlier in the race. You're not going to keep a guy like Bradley down for long. He will figure it out. So did Mind Killer take 4 in fuel on that?
No, he still only took fuel only, which means that late in this race, it could become a tire race, and who has to take 4 and who don't have to.
Well, I bet he'd feel fine about this little gaffe if he's able to make it work towards the end.
Man, Bradley's just using all the racetrack he can to make up the time lost to Spencer. He is driving the wheels off of that thing. Let's put our eyes back on Spencer here as he's now going into turn 1.
Last lap of the stage here.
Last lap of the stage, okay. Spencer took it very conservatively coming off that corner. The gap not closing to the like of Bradley,
I think it's closing a good amount, though, and it doesn't really need to close too much now. Bradley knows where he stands in this race right now, and giving him a second chance at Spencer, I think he's going to relish in that, and I think he's going to be pretty aggressive on our stage restart coming up after this yellow when we get to the line, and I think Bradley could be dangerous in this little final segment.
Spencer coming around the carousel here last time before the stage ends, so we can presume that with Spencer taking the stage win, Bradley taking second, and Ryan Guy taking third. Let's see, Darth Kylo fourth, and then
Mind Killer fifth.
Mind Killer
maybe
fifth.
S'mores if he can get there, because actually Mind Killer hasn't gapped S'mores much at all.
He's on no tires actually, so that's the reason.
But I feel like at road courses you can kind of get a speed advantage on those old tires. So
to a certain point, once they hit a certain percentage, though, look how off he is right now. It is bad.
S'mores might get stage points here.
Yes, and Mind Killer's probably maybe kind of letting it.
Yeah. Like last week, whenever I was gonna finish third, there's no reason for me to take that spot from Sal, so I stopped. I didn't fight him for it. So it's kind of just awareness of being a part-time guy compared to the full-time guys, and trying to help them out when you get the chance.
S'mores did get around Mind Killer there too. So S'mores with a fifth-place finish in the stage, he'll get that final bonus point.
I tell you right now, Mind Killer's cutting buttholes. He's only got 1% on the left front.
Oh well.
Jeez Louise.
That's probably why he was actually kind of slow there. He's babying it.
Yeah, that's as close as you're going to get without popping the tire for sure. As we're waiting on KLW to come around the S's here, there he is.
So yeah, there is conversation in the chat right now of if Mind Killer's tire is going to go. Mind Killer's pretty confident it's not going to pop, which could be a freezing cold take. The guy has not been the smartest so far in this little 15-lap display, so we'll see what happens.
Now, if you're a Mind Killer, Tegan, how in the world... Okay, so you made a crucial clerical error going into pit road here and cost you a stage win for sure. How do you rebound from this and go into the end of this race, without making that same freaking mistake? I mean, it sounds simple to not make the mistake, but...
It's as simple as it could have been he just didn't pay attention to his laps left, or he didn't pay attention when he sat down he's not on the controller, he's on a wheel, so he shouldn't have that issue. Because most people with controller, like, will set their controller down and it hits a button and they don't know it. I don't know if we have that problem with the wheel. I've not been on one long enough to know it. He's got to settle in here and make sure on this next restart that he doesn't get front end damage or back end damage, and kind of work his way through some of the guys we know that he should be able to pass pretty quickly. There should be no reason why he can't get back up to at least third pretty quickly, and just kind of rebound from there. And if this race goes green, even though he's on 1%, I still think he has an advantage with not having to take tires at the end of this race.
As we got our reverse camera view here on, let's see who get the first pit stop here. That would be the likes of Darth Kylo. So we will definitely see a bunch of guys come out in front of him. See who gets out first.
That 16's got a lightning stop. I believe it's 15 flat.
A 15 flat for doesn't really help much of a difference, I don't think. Oh, he does.
Fourth.
Wow.
That's big.
That is a huge jump for the 16 there, really getting it done.
Lost a lot of spots there.
So the top three stay the same, but Mind Killer's pit crew there said, hey, we got you, buddy, and they were able to bump him up 2 positions, which is, again, a very crucial deal here for the likes of Watkins-Glen.
Yep, 6 car up 2 spots, 19 down 2. And he's got decent pace, that 19. He's been my biggest surprise. I'm impressed with him. He's able to hold off Mind Killer, been better than S'mores so far, so good on that 19, but we'll see what he can do, losing a little bit of track position here.
Well, Mike, man, you said it earlier. Your top 3 guys to keep an eye out on are here. With the exception of Ron Guy, you got Spencer, you've got Bradley, and then you've got Mind Killer behind Ron Guy. You know, shaping up the way you predicted it.
Yeah, well, I think that, Ryan is in third, but the 3 guys I mentioned in first, second, and fourth, they've all showed winning speed at different points in this race. Ryan hasn't shown quite that yet. As I said, he has like the able to hang on pace here. We'll see what lane Spencer chooses. This is a choose cone restart, so
all right.
We'll see what happens.
I just wonder if there's call.
Yep.
I just wonder where Bradley was going to do it.
That's a big move for Mind Killer, I think. Getting him to be... That's a bad decision by Ryan.
I'm curious why Ryan picked that left side. Yep. Yeah, so
Ryan apparently is banking on them wrecking each other, which, I mean, if they wreck each other, then he's going to be involved. Yeah, that's exactly my thought.
Well, and it's not...
to the inside.
It's not a bad theory. If you're sitting there behind the wheel of the 98 machine, you think, well, Mind Killer made a clerical error. Let's see if he's going to make a driving error and shove these guys up the racetrack like the racers did there at the Clash of the Coliseum. So
to me, that's a big mistake. You cannot let the guy that showed the most speed in that
Watch
first.
this. He's going to get a good run. Oh, no, Bradley got a good jump there.
Bradley with a very good jump. Ryan guy really slipped on that restart. Holy cow.
And Spencer's pretty scared of Bradley, so he's going to let him have it in the one there.
I think this is where we're going to see if anybody can get into Spencer's head.
If anybody can get in his head, it'll be Bradley for sure now that he's in front of him.
Here's my thing. If Mind Killer can get up there and get by Spencer, then I think Spencer's going to start to lose his head. Because if he gets put back in this point in the race, then he starts to lose it.
Yeah, Mind Killer already on the attack.
Here.
I'm going to be curious to see if Mind Killer takes it easy here for a few laps. Bradley's bragging on himself. What a bitch.
He is. He said he had a monster restart, and I can't argue with him. I mean, that could be the difference of the race right there. That was huge.
It was definitely a brilliant restart, but here he goes in the grass. Spencer on the outside.
Wow!
Oh, he's going to force him in the grass.
He's in the grass. They're side by side.
3 wide.
Oh my
Come on,
goodness.
Mind Killer, take it 3 wide.
Bradley made a mistake going into the final corner here. Oh, and he gets a tap from Ryan Guy. Spencer gets a tap from Ryan Guy. Ryan Guy now takes evasive maneuver. Wow. What?
Tell you what, that was a balls to the wall move there from Spencer. Didn't work out for him, but that was wild.
Well, the bad thing about it is actually did work out for him, but Bradley would not be denied and forced him to go through the grass.
Bradley forced him into the grass. It was a good move on Spencer's part.
Oh, here comes Bradley now off the grass. So Spencer.
I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty for that. That was really...
Nah, you don't get one from over there.
Are you sure? Because I have.
I'm sure.
Penalty or not, the zero of Bradley is doing all he can to hold back the likes of Mindkiller now. Mindkiller now doing all he can to hold back the likes of Spencer.
That's an instance where he cut the track, but it gave him no advantage.
He's having trouble in this corner right here.
Yeah, you could tell the speed difference going into it and even off the corner as Mindkiller is going to try to attack him.
To actually check up because of him being so slow through there.
Mindkiller taking a wide turn as Bradley was taking a defensive corner there. Now it's going to allow Spencer to tuck back up behind the 6 of Mindkiller.
And it seems like, you know, we've seen this top 3 in the line before. We've heard of Beep Beep Grandpa in the past.
Yeah, meanwhile, Brian Guy's playing Grandpa behind them. He's just tagging along and forth with that I can just keep up with y'all pace, I suppose. Oh, and Spencer goes back into the grass again. But like you said, Mike Min, it doesn't really give much an advantage trying to cut through the grass like that, whether it's accidental or not.
No, not at all. It's really just, in this case, the 54 and the previous lap to 0. It's just them trying to keep their car on the track and not in the fence.
It's from overdriving through the middle of the bus chicane, trying to cut, and it just makes you go wide.
And the inner loop, I feel like, which is that bus stop and then the carousel, is where you can make the most time up here. That's the big difference, I think, around this track.
You are absolutely correct, Mikeman.
I think Bradley got loose there.
Yeah, Bradley got wicked loose. Mindkiller had to check up for him.
And then again, though, where will Mindkiller try to make his move? Because, to me, making a move in the bus stop with as high speeds as we go through here is quite dangerous.
But
and I don't think he'll be quite willing to do that. I think he's going to try to wait till maybe 6 or 7 here. We'll see the run he gets off the carousel.
I think there's a mistake made.
Which, right there.
Almost, yes.
See,
I think Mindkiller is really being nice.
Definitely.
He is definitely being nice, but also, he's not utilizing that Marcos Ambrose line that we've seen, using that wide arc going in the
6.
Nope. Yeah, he's really trying to knock on Bradley's door there to let him know, hey, I'm going to get by you one way or another, and Bradley will not answer that door for him.
Yeah, I feel like your main passing zones are back there in the 6 and then through here in the 1, and he's definitely not close enough yet, so it's going to be tough. He might have to rattle his cage, and Mindkiller and Bradley do have some history, so I think he's a little wary to do that.
As you can see in the camera shots here, really the top 3 guys is pulled away from Ryan Guy. Ryan Guy's on an island of his own, in front of the next 3 guys. We'll see what happens through the bus stop here.
He's back in the 5th, right?
Yeah, Darth Kylo was shown in 5th here, I believe.
S'more's all the way back to 7th.
Yep, S'more's not the performance that he was hoping to have here compared to winning last week at Kentucky. Obviously, circumstances fell in his hand to nab that win, and of course he had a win in the style going through pit road. But, nevertheless, a win for S'mores, and we were definitely thrilled to hear his excitement when he grabbed that win. Maybe he'll try to get a little performance out of next week's race and see if he can compete for the win then.
They are both. So did Mindkiller. They were both touching that barrier.
Yeah, we got our eyes back here going into turn 1. Mindkiller really getting it hard into the turn 1.
Oh, Bradley about lost it there. I can just tell from what his car did there that it was about to turn dead right on him.
Yeah, he said he was drifting.
If Mindkiller can catch Bradley when he slips like that without having his wheel slip the same way, he can get underneath him there going into the...
Maybe a look.
Here it is.
You can't.
No, he's being nice.
Yeah.
He's being nice.
Because if you try to make a pass through here, if you try to make a pass entering the bus stop there, probably going to see 2 cars wrecked with how high speeds.
But Mike, it could be a little bit of mind games too. Like, hey, I'm going to look. Yeah. You know, you ain't going to
get him right here.
Yeah,
that's a great move.
What a move by Mind Killer. The Whataburger Machine going to the lead. Oh, with Bradley really hanging close to his corner panel. He still stays on him.
I talked about turn 1 and turn 6 being the moves, but I didn't see him going flat to the floor around the outside through the carousel. What a move by Mind Killer.
Spencer was just not able to capitalize on all of that action in front of him. So Bradley was tucked in second, Spencer in third. But, man, this is a really good race here, guys.
No doubt. See if Mind Killer can set sail now. We'll see his true pace compared to Bradley here.
We got to remember, draft is on normal, so on these long straightaways, you are getting a pull.
That's a great point.
Bradley really trying his best to get back up to the Whataburger Machine, but he's just not able to capitalize on that.
Spencer's getting a little bit desperate because he is really cutting the last of the dog leg back there, and he's not making no gains doing it while they're not even touching the grass coming out.
And to add to your point there, Tegan, every time he comes off the corner, he's very sideways. Looks just like Bradley just did right there. So I agree with you completely on Spencer.
And I think losing the lead could be beneficial to Bradley here. We'll see what he's got. There's a lot of drivers do better as the chaser. You see that car in front of you, you see a baseline in front of you, and as we talked about earlier with Spencer being able to push harder than Mind Killer, I think Bradley's running some of his best laps of the race just trying to keep up with that 6 of Mind Killer.
I agree. Sometimes it's better to be chasing to be chased. But he's out of the draft now, so he can't even catch up that way. I think Mind Killer right now is about to set sail, and he knows he has to because if Spencer gets around Bradley and then he's catching him, then he's got to hurry up and get a good gap to give himself some breathing room.
And you have to believe Spencer's going to be a lot more lenient trying to get around the likes of Bradley compared to Mind Killer getting around the likes of Bradley.
I don't know. You say that, and then he moves when Bradley zags, he zigs. So
that is a very excellent description there. Oh, and Bradley, for a second there, it looked like that he got loose trying to come off.
Bradley is struggling in the hard break corners, if you notice back there, and he struggles through here a little bit too.
Absolutely.
Or trying one. Nope.
Nah, it's way too conservative.
Spencer about lost it.
Yeah, he took a very conservative line to keep off of Bradley, and it costed him.
Got offline.
We close to seeing stops here, Tegan?
I think we are. Actually, since you mentioned that, Michael Feel Like literally just came on his stream, which is actually behind ours. So
yeah, this is going on lap 25. We're on lap 25. Yep.
25. Yes.
Yep. And there is 41 laps in this race, ladies and gentlemen. So already well past halfway. Some really good racing here. Might settle out here for just a little bit, but these pit stops are going to be very crucial to see how close these guys get back to each other again.
Yeah, Mind Killer has really pulled away here in this last lap. He's coming now.
Yep. And Bradley stays out, which I don't mind the move for.
I think this is the good call for Bradley.
Yeah, you're going to get that lap fresher tires and Mind Killer and Spencer. You don't really lose too much time, compared to the new tires. So, yeah, I don't mind this move at all.
I think this is going to affect strategy toward the end of this race if it goes green.
How many laps do we have left here, Jones?
So, when he pitted, he crossed the line with 16 to go. So, I honestly don't think now, since Mind Killer pitted this lap, I don't think he can do this race on no tires later on. I think he has to take 4 tires on this stop, and I think his next 2 stops. Or his next
last stop.
to be honest. Yeah, his last stop. he'll be outside the window, I think, to make it. I think this is why it could work out for Bradley, just depending on how his tire wear is.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with it being a 10-lap fuel window, and having that extra 5 laps, I really don't see him being able to make it that extra part of the run. Looks like he's going to pit here now.
Oh, and he's really slow. I wonder if did he run out?
He
was not aggressive.
No, he definitely wasn't, and he was way up the track too as he came down to pit road as well. So that was a very interesting pit entry. As you see KLW behind him, that is currently in second, and S'mores currently in third. Of course, that after the pit cycle's through, we'll see the likes of Mindkiller and Spencer be out back in front. But that was
coming through 6th now.
Yeah, Bradley. I'm curious if he ran out of fuel right there coming to the pit entry as well, Tegan.
Well, I mean, the thing about Mindkiller is I think he could have won another lap. He just must be set that he's going to take 4 tires from here on out.
Yeah, a clear advantage of Mindkiller getting out in front here as Bradley just now exited his pit box. So, and here comes
spot to Spencer here too.
Mindkiller's gone, even to Spencer. So, Mindkiller was really aggressive getting in.
Yeah, at first I was actually pretty okay with Bradley's move there because you think, okay, well, if he went out a lap later, then he could push even harder now that he's got a lap of fresher tires than the likes of Spencer and Mindkiller, but that pit entry really hurt him.
Yeah, Bradley, I think, is saying he had issues in the bus stop there, so he just didn't have the lap he needed on his in-lap. You really need to make gains while, you don't see Mindkiller in front of you. You got to get a big lap, and he wasn't able to do that there.
And I will have to concur with you there too, Mike, because when I had my view on Bradley there, he was really mowing the grass there, and that whatever that lawn car,
yeah. Forever Lawn, doing
Forever Lawn.
It looked like.
Sorry, yeah, my apologies, folks. My eyes are starting to get a little weary. Let's see here. Ryan Guy looks like he's holding up 4th pretty well.
Yeah, whatever Bradley found during that end of stage 1, I think he's lost now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Did he lose it, or did Mindkiller just step it up?
I'll tell you what, the 54 is gaining a little bit here on Mindkiller, I think.
They were even in the practice while they were behind me. So.
Ooh, well, that's not going to help.
No, that definitely don't. Spencer really hit that bus stop hard, and it caused him to go into the grass there, as you saw.
But half the battle sometimes is just being able to see the guy. He's about half this straightaway in front of him right now.
And that kind of goes both ways, because if that leader sees the guy in his mirror, if he's looking behind him, it gets in his head a little bit. It makes him make mistakes.
Yeah, and with the lead Mindkiller has, a big lead at these road courses, not a big lead, but the lead he has right now can kind of put you in a position prone to make mistakes because you might take corners a little too cautious, and that could force you into an error.
And how many times? Oh, go ahead.
It just puts you into, like, you underdrive too much when you've got somebody like Spencer and Bradley who's hitting their marks while they're overdriving. Sometimes it pays not to take it easy.
Yeah, if I was Mindkiller, I might just turn my mirror off, not look at the gap, just run the laps he knows he can run, and I think he'll be in good shape. Don't overthink it. Now, if I'm Bradley, I would consider coming down early. Maybe split it in half, because he's not going to win, on the strategy he's on right now. I think you got to do something different than the guys in front of you.
Best bet would to be able to do that, and then have a caution come out within a lap or two.
Which I don't think we'll see, because there's nobody around each other. 22 is exiting, so it looks like he's getting a jump on the strategy. But yeah, nobody really around each other right now. Nobody really even close.
Yeah, Dark Kahlo's in 5th, almost 17 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah, S'mores was back there and last. Really didn't have too much to lose with that pit strategy either. Oh, Bradley comes off the corner in turn 1 here really loose. Almost wrecks it. It's going to allow the likes of Ryan to catch up to him to try to pass him for 3rd. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, and that probably takes any chance he might have left out right now.
Yeah, if you're Spencer, you're sitting here in second, nobody in your mirror, you have no reason to freak out other than just to hit your marks to catch up to the likes of Mind Killer. Oh, Bradley
I
gets
think
loose
he's
again!
gaining.
Ooh, Bradley almost
Yeah.
wrecks, and Ryan guy almost got into the likes of Bradley.
Pushing
Yeah,
too
Bradley's
hard.
pushing it now, trying to make up some time.
Definitely.
And he's got nothing to lose. I mean, he knows he's not winning this race now without a yellow. He may keep pushing it.
Makes you wonder if he had preset his slider on 2 loops.
He's actually asking why he's so loose. And Ryan's pitting, so he's short pitting. Yeah, Bradley's actually complaining about the car being loose now.
Well, as Bradley continues with the struggles of ill-handling race car, we're going to put our eyes back on the first top two, Mind Killer and Spencer. Really, the gap's not closed, and it's not gapping either. So, definitely whatever marks these guys are hitting are pretty much identical.
Throw weights in.
As we're approaching 10 laps to go here, Mind Killer, with the exception of Bradley having an ill-handling race car, is this pretty much how you predicted this race to be?
I kind of did.
Yeah, I mean,
Just from what I saw in practice between Mind Killer and Spencer. And they are actually, so Spencer has got it down to a second half. It was over 2.5, 2 or 3 laps ago.
Spencer's
Spencer
driving
is
the
coming.
wheels off that thing right now.
Yeah, Mind Killer kind of looked like he slid the tires a little bit going to the entry, but Spencer got loose coming off that corner there too, so looks like they were still even coming through the S's here. As you see the likes of the 22 of S'mores in front of Mind Killer here, now
Pushing
coming
too
through.
hard, going through the grass again.
Oh, Spencer?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is where we're going to probably start seeing where it's Spencer versus Spencer. Now,
This kind of ends up like this, doesn't it?
for those that didn't have ears in the race chat, for all that's in the broadcast, apparently there was
I
a
think
quote
there's
that.
lag.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely on Spencer's end.
Yeah, that was a lag on our side for sure.
I
Uh-oh.
don't see it with anybody else, though.
Yeah.
I just see it with the 54, so it could be, you'd assume it's an isolated deal with him.
Yep. And that's the thing. I got kicked out halfway through the race last week in Kentucky. Thankfully, Mike Min, you had sent another invite for me to get back in to keep the broadcast going, but I don't understand how in the world that could just happen all the time like this, even broadcasting. But anyway, I lost track of what I was about to say from
You were
last
going to say
week.
something about a chat.
Oh yeah, in the race chat. So Mike Min, you were in Kentucky race last week here in the midweek series. Apparently, Spencer got a little flustered, and you had a quote of the year, or one of the quotes of the year, but we didn't pick it up on our broadcast.
Well, I can't repeat it here. But, he had done a pretty good job. I was on my last run of the race. I had made that mistake speeding, trying to make up some gains, and he was on old tires and just parked it in front of me and blocked me through the corner. So I had no remorse when he started doing his usual acrobatics, juggling routine.
That is an excellent description. Yeah, throw your... Yeah, that's
exactly.
That's the quote, folks. But anyway, seeing Mind Killer pull away from Spencer now, what an awesome drive.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Mind Killer's actually gaining a little bit on Spencer here
He
now.
has put it back on Spencer. He's actually, just since I looked 20 seconds ago, he's put another 3 or 4 tenths on him. So, and he just mentioned it. Spencer's mad. He's do you want a cookie for that?
Yeah, I heard that a few minutes, like about 20 seconds ago. That's what I enjoy. They're talking about cookies.
You gotta love Spencer. He does come back with some good ones.
Yeah.
Well, and so does Mind Killer because he just asked what kind you got.
Yep, here comes Mind Killer in the pit.
Yep, they're both pitting. You had Mind Killer over there going, "Wow, Spencer, I'm actually gaining on you here," and then you hit Spencer, "Wow, you want a cookie?" So they're a little back and forth. Always fun here in the midweek series. I heard a little huffing and puffing. No, he didn't speed. He's just huffing.
Now, here's what's crazy to me is S'mores having to come back to pit road, so that's going to risk putting him a lap down.
I think S'mores was off on his strategy.
Yeah, he said he tried something, clearly did not work.
Well, let's see here. Ryan Guy then would be left with the lead then.
Salty in there right now.
So the 98 of Ryan Guy holds the lead as of now, till he has to go to pit, of course. Let's see who's behind him.
I believe he actually short pitted the field.
Oh,
Ryan
did he?
did short pit.
Oh,
I don't
so
think
he's
he'll
not.
gain nothing out of it though.
Yeah, so he's not in contention for the win right now.
Okay.
Spencer,
It's gonna be
made a
interesting
gain
to
through that
see
cycle there.
to see if S'mores ends up playing a factor here.
Nah, S'mores is too smart of a racer to be in the way of the likes of.
It is kind of hard to get out of the way though if you don't know where to go.
And with how close the 54 is to him right now, just one little hold up will get Spencer back into this. And I think he's actually back into this already.
So Spencer did gain a lot on the cycle there.
Yeah.
I think he got it on entry.
Yeah, Spencer's definitely not going away just quite yet, but he will hurt his chances
he
if
can't
he
be
keeps
out there that far. He is pushing too hard.
Yep.
He needs to rein it in a little bit, run the laps he knows he can, and stop trying to push so hard. Because him running like that, he just lost about probably half a second going that wide there.
Absolutely, and meanwhile, Mind Killer's already now tucked up behind the likes of the 22 of S'mores. Now, S'mores was smart when he come up to the S's here at the end of it. He'd just go ahead and lift off the throttle and let Mind Killer by.
Oh, in the wall, 54!
Yeah, major nose damage to the 54 of Spencer.
I think now Mind Killer can just coast it.
Yep.
He is yelling in there.
Yeah, he's just now getting to the bus stops here. Spencer's just coming off the exit of the S's here. So, yeah, my Mind Killer's got nothing to worry about now.
This is what I said would happen. I mean, you get that guy down just a little bit, he's an absolute head case. He loses it every time, it seems like.
Now, even though that we're going to see these positions change here, permitting there's no caution, Bradley does currently have the lead. But now, Bradley's in the pit road now. Never mind.
Yeah, he just ran it long.
And you got the 6 already coming down the front stretch, so it is not going to be even close.
No, not at all. So, yeah, Mind Killer with a huge advantage over the likes of Spencer, with now heavy damage in front on the front end of Spencer's car.
There's a good chance that Bradley could come back out and contend for second, depending on how bad the damage is on Spencer. I'm thinking there's only going to be about 4 seconds between Spencer and Bradley on this cycle.
And I think Spencer's mistakes are probably not done, because it's always kind of like a...
compounding.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a cause and effect for him. Once you see one, you're going to see more.
Well, yeah.
His best friend right now is his 22, who actually it's not his best friend anymore because he gets out of the way of him right there.
Yeah, S'mores made the wise decision to let the 6 of Mind Killer go by. And Spencer, as you just mentioned, he almost got into the grass there coming off the S's. Almost pulled a Jeff Gordon where he wrecked coming off the S's all by himself. So, as you said, the chances of Spencer compounding his issues, could take him out from finishing second at the best. Oh, lovely. What we got now here, Tegan?
So Spencer said something about paying him to hit a brick wall. I don't know. For one, there is no brick. This is not the brickyard.
Well, we can pretty much solidify the top 2 here, permitting that Spencer and Mind Killer doesn't have something crazy happen to him. I believe in that case, Ryan Guy's in third?
Actually, I think Bradley is still in third.
Okay, so Bradley is still in third. Okay, so then that will leave Ryan Guy in fourth, and Darth
I'll
Kylo
check.
with a very quiet night here in fifth.
Yeah, Ryan Guy's actually on the back bumper of Ryan. I mean, not Ryan. Flip that. Ryan Harp is on the back bumper of Ryan Parsons.
Yep. So
We've got throwing.
You know, when it comes to midweek regular season points here, all positions count. So Darth Kylo trying to ring in the 98 of Ryan Guy here.
Keep an eye on the 54 because something just got thrown.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think he's only got 4 seconds to Bradley right now. And Bradley's actually gaining on the leader, too. So, I mean, it's too late. Fresh tires have something to do with that, but he could get second here.
You know, and to what you just said there, Mike Min, you know, the 54 losing the time now to Bradley. Bradley catching up to even the likes of the leaders. Still too late to catch the leader, but to the likes of Spencer here, that is not something the 54 machine wants to see.
Not at all.
You know, he's trying to salvage at maximum points he can here, just like the likes of these regulars with S'mores and Darth Kylo. You know, it's seeing that zero closing in even more so now in your rear view mirror. It's just a matter of time before Spencer starts making a mistake once more. My goodness, he's closed the gap.
And this is the one thing that with Spencer, as he gets faster and faster, he just cannot get over. Once he gets down just a little bit, he'll push way too hard, make that big mistake, and completely lose his mind about it. Like at Kentucky last week, you know, he did not have a winning car. But once he got put back into second by a decent distance where he had trouble seeing me, he just lost his head completely. And it happens a week-by-week basis. So, you know, if I'm over there, Quentin, I don't know if he's a very active owner there at Spire, but I'd have a little course with him trying to rein him in a bit because he's got the speed. He just does not have the mindset whatsoever, as Bradley is getting ever closer to him.
It's under 3 seconds now. I don't know unless Spencer has
It's probably even less
major
than that now.
issues. Yeah, it's definitely less than that. It's almost 2 seconds now. It looks like Spencer's starting to put some laps back together now.
Yeah, we're going to keep our eyes now on the 6th machine of Mindkiller here as we are going to approach the last lap. I didn't even realize it was 2 laps to go. There's quite a delay in the live stream that Mindkiller's got compared to what we've got right here, so my apologies, folks. But here we are, nevertheless, on the last lap as he's pulling up behind the likes of KLW. Obviously, KLW, if he's smart, he should pull out of the way too.
Well, the 6 car, if he's smart, he coasts here. He's got 6 seconds lead. There's no sense in trying to lap a car. You know,
that's true.
Just run it, you know, half throttle.
I was actually thinking in the mind of KLW, like, okay,
Bradley's got it down to a second.
Down to a second from. Did
I'm
Bradley?
going from Mindkiller stream.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, Bradley got around Spencer. I did not see that. Oh, well, my apologies, folks.
Did something happen somewhere? We missed something somewhere.
We definitely missed.
Didn't see it.
I didn't
Spencer
think.
must have had an issue somewhere.
Absolutely, but nevertheless, here comes Mindkiller coming down through the final corner here on the final lap.
And he's still having issues.
Spencer still having issues. Mindkiller don't mind that at all. He's going to take the win here at Watkins-Glen.
Big win.
Followed by Bradley here in second,
Bradley
who took advantage of...
thinks he put down a really good heater lap. He's got to beat a 509 from Mindkiller. Unless Spencer ran faster.
Is doing some Spencer things.
Yeah, Darth Kylo here trying his best to catch up to the likes of Ryan Guy. Ryan Guy looks like he just ran out of fuel. Wow.
He did. He short pitted a lap too early.
Yep. Darth Kylo takes advantage of that mistake from his Ryan Guy's clerical error. So Darth Kylo with the 4th place finish, it definitely helps his case in the midweek series points.
Last year's regular season champ, looking to do it again.
I am honestly quite surprised of how many clerical errors was made between the likes of Mindkiller and Ryan Guy.
Well, it worked out for Mindkiller.
That it did for sure. A tough break for Spencer here, finishing third. Had second there despite the damage and was quite a bit far ways ahead of Bradley, but continuously was just making mistakes with an ill-handling race car after the damage suffered in the right front there, or left front, my apologies. Allowed Bradley to be able to pass him for second.
No doubt. Great run for the 6 of Mindkiller. Bradley made a late charge there. Maybe if he didn't make that big mistake, he would have might have had a chance, but I guess we'll never know. Good win for Mindkiller in that 6 car.
Yeah, and rounding out the field, KLW, I believe, finished sixth since he had finished ahead of Mindkiller, and S'mores rounding up the last place position here in 7th.
Yeah, not what he was looking for coming off that big win.
Absolutely not.
Pretty fun race overall, though. Had action throughout, had some strategy, had some gaffes. Definitely a fun one here at the Glen.
As we were about to see
Bradley
what our
did get
fastest
it.
laps are. Who got it, Tegan?
Bradley.
Bradley fastest lap.
415 to a 509.
Yeah, my PS4 slow crap here is just now finally got the screen up. All right, yep. So there you go. Good lap time by Bradley in the Xfinity car.
Yeah, it's a big lap time for him there. He
All
really
right.
found something late.
As we set our car on the screen to match Mindkiller, we await him to join our broadcast to interview him and his win here at Watkins-Glen.
How long before someone asked when he can come in?
Well, I don't know if he'll be in the best mood for that.
One words at a time. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Mindkiller ain't jumped on yet. Uh, As we await our winner here, so to recap so far of these races that we've had in the midweek series, Bradley came home with the win. Never mind. Here we go. The race winner at Watkins-Glen just joined us, Mindkiller. Take us through how you're feeling right now, buddy.
I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about the win. I mean, it was a good fun race with Bradley and Spencer. I mean, that first run though, like I made a dumb pit decision.
We heard.
So take us through just really quickly. What happened?
Are you still there?
Mindkiller.
Yeah, my PlayStation just pulled something up. It was, what the hell? Some voice thing, I think. I don't know.
So, Mindkiller, what happened there to cause the clerical error, or what error happened that caused you to be set back there at come to the end of stage 1?
Well, I was trying out a strategy. I thought it would work, but it didn't. I took no tires, and I just did a half a can. And then I had to go in again to get some more fuel. And then
Oh,
and then with that I took no tires again, and I somehow managed to hold my left front tire in just at 1%.
well, we definitely appreciate you doing your live stream through your end. I was able to see that on my phone. It was a half a lap of delay, but Tegan pointed that out there before I got to say anything about it. You were on 1% tire. So, yeah, that was very
Yeah,
close.
it was very close. I was doing all I can to manage that tire to the end. And luckily with that, I got a 15-second pit time, which gained me 2 positions. And it put me in a good position to be back up there in front and get the lead.
Yeah, Michael, you haven't quite had the start you're looking for in the Cup Series this year. Not able to get a win in the first 6 races. What does this do for your confidence and your momentum as we enter a little 2-week break, but once we're back in Atlanta in a couple weeks?
I mean, it does give me confidence. I mean, I know I haven't really been that good in these few races in the Cup Series, but I'm doing all I can to, like, finish in the best position I can and hopefully to get a win. But I mean, it does bring my confidence up that I can do it, that I can get a win.
Well, we definitely saw a really good race happening between you, Spencer, and Bradley there. Mind Killer, congratulations on your win. Tegan, do you have anything for him?
I just called it in practice that I was glad I wasn't wasting one of my allotted races tonight, and you're pretty much the reason why I didn't. When I saw that you can gain about over half a second in just 2 corners on me, yeah, I mean, I wasn't planning on racing anyway, but if I had been planning on racing, I would have definitely had backed out. So congratulations on your win. Rightfully deserved. I do believe that you probably took it easy there at the end when Spencer was catching you, but Spencer does Spencer things, so it worked out for you in the end. So congratulations on your win.
Yeah, I definitely was taking it easy when I saw when I coming off of the when I think he hit the wall after the first corner.
He did.
Mind Killer, congratulations again, buddy. Hope you have a wonderful night and go enjoy your win, man. Absolutely. Thank you for joining. Alrighty, so as we now await our second place finisher, Bradley here, kind of a surprise, despite that, the setbacks that happened to him, to be able to pull off a second place finish, guys. Oh, I didn't even think that. Okay. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and put Spencer in. First to say, not it. Mike, man, I appreciate you taking the lead for this interview for. And we appreciate honesty in this league, ladies and gentlemen. Spencer, be honest. Did you throw stuff? I didn't have my ears on the chat, but all right.
Yeah. And as I said before, kind of jokingly, but it's a serious thing. It seems like every week in this series, you get in the second, and it's just not enough. You start to get in your own head. You make that mistake like you did in turn one, where you got up into the wall pretty hard. Um, Talk me through that moment for you. Were you just trying to push too hard? Because you were gaining on him running your steady laps that you were. I really didn't think you needed to push any more than you were. And it was kind of apparent to us, at least in the booth, that you were close to making a mistake that was going to cost you, and then it happened.
Yeah, I clipped the outside wall just barely to give me 86% aero damage, and then that ended my race. It killed my car. I was like, I'll just sell it for third. And then I had no choice but to let Bradley by.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then overall good race when I passed Bradley in the grass and we almost wrecked.
That was a crazy move. Talk me through that. Were you just foot on the floor going for it?
Yes. And at the same time, I don't want to wreck us both.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great move.
Or just body slam him to the right.
Well, that's what we were kind of trying to figure out, if it was more of a move that you made into the grass or if it's a move that Bradley put you in the grass. So, looks like that answers that question.
Yep.
Well, Spencer, congratulations on a third-place finish.
Thanks. On to Texas.
Yes, sir. On to Texas. Have a good night.
You too.
Hey,
Oh, you already heard it here, folks. Mine.
Oh, you will?
Yeah,
It'd
Mike
be
Man.
if
Yep.
somebody shows up.
listen,
Mike
I'll tell
Man.
you what. We'll see. Oh, no, I'm not going to give you that satisfaction. You already get enough.
You already have.
All right,
getting anybody
y'all
else in
need to
here?
get a room.
No, I don't want a room.
Well, since we
that room
weren't able to
later.
get Bradley in, I'm going to try to get Darth Kylo in if he's
Yeah.
interested in it.
Yeah.
Our fourth place
pack him.
finisher. He might.
There he is.
Yep.
There he is already.
Dorothy, how's it going, buddy? So, walk us through how you were able to steal fourth place away from Ryan Guy going to the finish of the race. Well, it was definitely an impressive deal to see you be able to take fourth place away here at Watkins-Glen. Does that give you any confidence going into next week's race? Absolutely. Mike Man, Tegan?
Yeah, you're in your pursuit of maybe a second regular season championship in 2 years here in this midweek series. Um, Definitely, I think this is a kind of a run like you had tonight is a reason why I think you were the regular season champion last year. We don't think of you as much of a road racer, but to come away with fourth is really good. How do you feel about your campaign trying to go back to back for that regular season championship?
Yes, sir. Darth, we appreciate you hopping on and getting an interview with us, man. Congratulations getting fourth place finish here at Watkins-Glen. We're looking forward to seeing you do really good next week at Texas. Thank you.
Later.
All right, as we wrap up tonight's broadcasting events, gentlemen, any final thoughts?
Awesome race, big win for Mind Killer. Him and I are in a pretty close battle for third on the all-time wins list in the CFRL. So seeing him win that one, gives me a little more motivation to go out and get it next week at Texas. So it'll be fun for you guys to broadcast that one. Hopefully you're talking to me in this part of the show and I don't make a stupid mistake again.
Well, Mike, man, somebody told a little hint just about 3 minutes ago that he might also join the race as well. It's kind of it sounds similar to that Jones boy, but I'm not sure if that's.
He said I had He said I could have Texas.
Yeah, I just Texas ain't on my repertoire this year.
I will say. My Xfinity Series season I ran in 2021 when I was back full time for that championship run I had. I swept them at Texas, so that gives me a little motivation to go back there and get one because I really like Texas and those cars, and hopefully I can do what I did 3 years ago now. It doesn't feel like that long ago.
Well, nevertheless, everybody that has tuned in to the broadcast here, whether it be live or you watching it later on, we sure appreciate you watching us and tuning in. We definitely enjoyed broadcasting the race here at Watkins-Glen today. Your winner, Mind Killer in the 6 of Whataburger Machine, with last week's winner being S'mores there at Kentucky, and then the Daytona race being Bradley, 3 races into the season, and I say we're doing really good, fellas.
No doubt. Been fun so far.
Alrighty. So, everybody, we appreciate you. We're going to sign off here. And until next week at Texas, we wish you a very happy week.